Hello coin collectors out there, welcome back to the Big D Coins channel. You might be used to seeing proof sets that look like this on the channel, but interestingly we're going to switch it up a little bit, try and make the channel as interesting as possible, and we'll talk about these right here. Have you ever seen one of these before? These are mint sets from Canada, and I have three years in a row right here, 1972, 1971, and 1970. Now, unfortunately, I don't have the full envelope and kind of card that comes with them. I just have the coins themselves in the little cellophane packaging right here. As you can see, they are a 6-coin set. I looked on the Canadian Mint's website just today, and it looks like these are selling for around $26.95. That is for the current year mint set, not for these older ones. But these older ones, much like the US Mint, haven't really appreciated too much in value. What's special about these coins, as we'll talk about in the video, is that the dollar coin actually has a rotating design. Each of these 3 years, they issued a circulating commemorative coin. So we have the 1972 on top. We'll get into the 1971 and then the 1970. You also might not have seen before the 50-cent piece from Canada. So we'll take a nice look at that one as well. You probably recognize the penny, the nickel, the quarter, and the dime. I'm going to move two of them out of the way, and we'll start with the first year that I've got right here. And give me a second as I zoom in on the dollar coin and rotate it so that you can see it just right. All right, so this is the 1970 $1 coin coming to you from Canada. The name of this coin is the Manitoba coin, and it celebrates the 100th anniversary of the accession of Manitoba. So that's what we're celebrating right here. The obverse side of the coin isn't anything special on these, so we'll focus just on the reverse side. Now, the design you see is a flower. It's actually the prairie crocus. It's surrounded with the legend Manitoba, and then we see 1870 to 1970, celebrating that 100 year. We see Canada and then dollar down here on the inscription, and there we have the maple leaf. The mintage of this 1970 $1 coin, there are 4,140,000 of them that were produced. Now, the mintage is definitely important to keep in mind when you're looking at kind of the value of the coin. And with that said, this coin right here, the 50-cent coin, actually had a lower mintage than the dollar coin. So there are only 2,429,000 of these that were produced. So we had 4.1 million of the dollar coins that were made, just 2.4 million of these made, the 50-cent piece. Also, the mintages for the other coins that we have in the set, these are just the mintages for the general circulating coins. There are 10 million 25-cent pieces. There are 5 million dimes that were made. As far as the 5-cent coin, there were 5 million of these. But guess what? There were an absolute ton of pennies that were produced in 1970. There were 344 million 1970 pennies that were produced. But that's not going to be the lowest mintage we will talk about today. The year 1972 actually outdoes the 1970 as far as the pennies. So we got a cool look at this 1970 Manitoba dollar coin. On to the next year in the series, 1971. I'll let you look at this right here while I pull up the data for it. So the name of this coin is the British Columbia coin. And as we can see, we see the inscription British Columbia on the top right here, Canada dollar, 1871, 1971. As you can see, this coin does have some scratches to it. Unfortunately, that will detract from the value of the coin. Those are just known as bag marks. It's still an uncirculated coin, but sometimes when it goes through the circulation process, sometimes when it's being made, it does get scratched up a little bit. On the reverse design right here, I don't have too much detail as far as what you're looking at. Maybe if you're more familiar, you can fill me in. But we're celebrating the 100th anniversary of the accession of British Columbia. Very cool right there. There were only 652,000 of these coins that were made for the silver version. As far as the non-silver version, I need to get that for you. 1971, there were 4,260,000 of them that were produced. Now, just be patient with me 1 second. I was looking up the silver version to try and get the description. So the reverse design that we see right here is British Columbia's coat of arms, and its provincial flower, the dogwood, and it's surrounded with the legend British Columbia, and then the dates 1871 and 1971. We also see Canada and the face value of the coin right here. Sorry for not having that up earlier. I was looking at the silver coin, but I needed to get to the regular nickel composition coin. And then we've got the 50-cent design doesn't change, but I might as well share with you the mintage because it is pretty low across the board for the 50-cent coin. So this one right here, there are only 2.1 million of these 50-cent coins that were made for the year 1971. Again, that's just the general mintage of the coin. Now we're on to 1972, which is the third and the final year that we're going to be looking at for this. So we have a canoe on the reverse. And as far as the mintage of this coin goes for 1972, there were 3,196,000 of them that were made. But what will blow your mind is actually the mintage on this penny. 457 million pennies were made in the year 1973. That kind of helps to explain why Canada decided to cut back on all the coins that were being produced because they were costing more than a penny to make. All right, now back to this one right here. The reverse design, we see a Voyager and an Aboriginal paddling a birch bark canoe by an inlet on which there are two wind-swept trees. So we've got the trees right here that are being swept or blown by the wind. We see a Voyager right here. We see an Aboriginal right here. We've got a birch bark canoe right here. So very cool designs. We see 1972 down there at the bottom. The name of this coin, it doesn't have a specific name associated with it. So the other two we were looking at were British Columbia and Manitoba, but this one, unfortunately, no specific name to it. All of the coins that we've been looking at today are the nickel composition. All right, everyone, hopefully you had a good time looking at these coins. Sorry I couldn't provide too much more detail. My specialty is definitely United States coins, but as I get into Canadian coins and other foreign coins, I'll get more info, so stay tuned to the channel. Please do hit that subscribe button. If you've got any feedback, feel free to let me know in the comment section. Thank you very much, everyone, and best of luck coin collecting out there. Enjoy!